You need to choose. That's the game. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. You take one number.
Three. My birthday is on the 30th, and I'm in my 30th. So 3.
Oh no. So look, you
What?
got all.
What
I
does
will
that
read for
mean?
you. So it's like, it's funny that my best friend gave me this. It's like cards with animals. So you choose one and then you have like this vibe for your day or for your week. So you are the magic. Choose to know the truth because you can. Open your inner vision. You can see truth, deception. Let the past go and make room for a better life. Rise up. Magic and wisdom are your birthright. That's cute.
It's like you can see through deception.
One.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy because I'm so big on, like feeling energies in a way.
Really?
Like if somebody is like really deceptive, I feel that energy. And when I dig more, I find out that what I was actually feeling is actually what it was.
Super cool. And that's funny because that
Yeah.
also happens to me. Like I tend to be kind to everyone. But there are such people that I meet and I know like this is going to be bad. But I try to be kind. And when something bad happens, my husband always tell me, but you told me from the very beginning that's going to be bad and you choose to be kind. So you choose your bad. I'm like, you're right. But that's always like that. Here in Hungary, I learn actually to just follow that feeling. Like I have so many people, but I just keep ignoring them because I know like, okay, I know this is not going to be good. And I'm polite, but I just leave it. Because in China and in Germany, I was like, but I need to help and I need to know. I don't need to help. But like, you help the ones that want you to help, but you cannot be like saving everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No,
I will send you your card later.
Gosh, I thought maybe you're a card reader. That's why like you started with the card. That's literally
I
what
wish
came
I
to my
would.
mind.
Like I needed that.
But that's quite interesting, actually. Quite interesting.
Okay, I
So how
wanted
are
like to
you?
do it like an icebreaker, but it's good that you like it.
Yeah, I usually start with like an icebreaker, asking people like about their names, because usually your name, like people live up to their names, or their names like sort of like follow their path in a way. So I'm quite interested also like in the like people's names, and I think also because now I've been engaging with people from different countries, I also like want to know more about their name in a way. I don't know, I'm like somehow fascinated about the name. But Diane is not, it's an English name, right?
Diana is an English name, but we have it like in Colombia because every country has like their own pronunciation of names. So we have the Diana is Diana in Colombia. But my family
Diana.
back in the States, but my family back in the States, they always call me Diana. And even some of my friends in Colombia, they were always calling me Diana because they say it sounds pretty nice. So, I get used to, I actually have a second name that I'm not going to say in the podcast, but I will tell you. I will tell you after the podcast. That second name, I don't like it because my mom was always calling me both names when she was mad. So for me, it was like the red flag name. Like, what did I did? What did I did? So I just used the Diana. And in Colombia, it was mixed, half. Like some people call me by my first name. Some people call me by my second name. Diana is my first name. And when I went to Germany, it was like everyone just knows me by Diana. And then it became like much more, can I say, like the official name when I went to China, because Chinese can just pronounce the Diana. So it was like Diana. So Diana. So it's a state like this. And here in Hungary, it's funny because they pronounce the Diana, as in Colombia. So many people ask me, like, is Diana like the princess or is Diana? And I'm like, well, both are the princess. So you choose your pronunciation.
Princess Diana. And I
Exactly.
mean, that's really what comes to our minds when we look at like your name, like Princess Diana, But it is such a beautiful name.
I was waiting all my life. I'm still waiting to be picked up by the royal family as the lost daughter. But
I think that boat has passed.
maybe I'm still waiting.
Oh my God.
As the goddaughter.
Are you from, like, were you born and raised in Colombia?
Yes, I was born and raised in Colombia. But wait, for the Diana, there is another beautiful meaning that I love the most. So
Yes.
in Greek literature and in like all these Greek stories, Diana, she's like the goddess of the moon and from hunters. So they say like the Greek hunters used to praise Diana before they went to the hunt or something. So I love it because in the mythology, it's like, for the hunters as a woman, she was like the goddess telling them like, go this way, do this way. And I think it's really cool also in the mythology to have a woman as the goddess of super important and stronger things. So
Yeah.
it's really cool.
And I think then maybe that's why you've got that dominance in you, like, like the boss lady, like what we will talk about as we go on with the interview. Do you think that's also maybe like that influence with that mindset where it's also coming from?
Influence came actually from my
Okay. Hmm. Yeah.
He always used to tell me that nothing is impossible. So she was, oh, when I was saying like, maybe for a woman not, and she was like, don't ever say that. She was like, of course, men, and I also understand, men can do many things that women cannot do the same way, because we are just different human beings. Men have so many good and different things that we have women, and women have so many different things you cannot compare, because it's just extremely different. I think God made us just to be a pretty good complement, but I don't like this comparison always like, but woman has to do exactly the same. No, if maybe someone can do it, good, it's a talent. But I think men are so perfect and so good the way as they are with all the talents that just men can have. And we women, we are just fantastic the way that we are with the things that we as women can do. And you cannot compare it because, it's just different. So I think
Mm.
that a strong mindset comes actually from my mom, always with this thing, go for it, do it. My sisters, they are also like pretty strong women. They were also dealing on their jobs and things with really hardcore things. And they always show me like how you do it,
Yeah.
why do you do it. And I use always to read a lot and also see like in history. I was always, and I'm still really in love also with the story of Nelson Mandela. Like, when you deal with so many hardcore things in life, like how you stay so relaxed and so positive to see at the end of this mess the light and say, but it will be
Mhm.
okay. Because they were
Mhm.
always speaking also on creating like your own character. Like you don't care what the others sing, you don't care what the others say, just you need you to build yourself as a really good person. So I think I always try to do the same. So yeah.
I actually like that because, I work in a male-dominated environment and I struggled a lot trying to emulate what men do, like sort of like have the masculine energy. And I failed. I failed dismally. But when I started thinking like, okay, this place requires a lot of lifting of tools, don't have the same energy or rather the same muscles that they have to lift like a heavy door, for an example, as a
Mhm.
part in a manufacturing process or like a automobile industry. So it
Exactly.
was more like, how do I make this place comfortable for me? So it was like putting systems that would make the lifting easier, would make the job easier for females. Not necessarily that we
Mhm.
must do exactly what they're doing. So now putting in that, like the improvements, just bringing in the minds. Like really, that's what females should do and not try to be like men. So actually, I love that. I love that. Yeah.
I think that's a trouble that we all have, and I think it's good because then we are like building ourselves. How are we going to be in the future? So when I started, because I'm also an engineer, and it's also like the most of my colleagues are also men, and they were even in Colombia, it was like super male dominated. And when I started, I think I did the same mistake. I was like, but I need to do exactly the same. And then I remember once I was speaking with some of my people from my university and the ones which we were doing like mathematics and physics together because it were like all the engineering bachelors in just one group, so to say, because it was the same physics, mathematics, IT for everyone. It was the same. So I remember one of the guys told me like, Diana, if a man goes now because he say like, look, I like design and I want to be a tailor, a designer, or I want to do hair. Because there are many men also in Colombia that they do hair and things, and they are married to a woman and they're like, no, no, like really, I'm 100% male, but I like this. And then he told me, I remember he introduced me to the guy that was doing his hair actually. And this man was so talented. I even went to him like to cut my hair and everything. And he said he has the best job because he has always like the most beautiful woman and he can do the hair. And he really liked woman. But then he told me something. He told me like, Diana, the most of the men in this industry, they like men. And he told me like, but I have a wife, I love women, kids. And he told me, but that's what I love. And I'm not going to change like my essence, where I am, my vibe, to fit in. And that hits me because I was at that time 18 and I thought like, this is stunning. Then I really don't have to change some things that I do. And I think I really try. Sometimes it's funny because I think even I know I didn't try like to change myself that much after and not even now. You know, when you are between people, and that's what you say, the energy of people, I think we have, and I don't know if you have that, but sometimes I have these expressions that are used poorly male expressions or some things that sometimes I think and I'm like, okay, that's too men or something when I express myself or when I say something or the way that I make fun of some things. I'm okay
Yeah.
with that. Even like these German expressions, sometimes I have like these super male expressions and I'm like, oh, it is how it is. So I really try to behave also like with the boss ladies and so on. Like I try to pass myself, but sometimes when I'm really like in trust with some of them, that funny part comes out. And I think it's normal, but it's not that I want like to steal it from them. It's like I think it's funny. And I really admire also the emotional intelligence from men. Because I think men, and that's something that I think is really good for men, the intelligence from men, emotional intelligence is huge. Like a man can have a problem now at work, he will say it straightforward because he is not thinking like on hurting feelings or something. They are thinking on being efficient on what they are doing. So they will say it straightforward. They will tell people how they will do it and they are not going to think twice or feel bad about it or overthink the situation. They go straight, they say it. And after 3 minutes, they are okay with you. They are not taking the situation on a negative way on you. And I think sometimes some of us women, we overthink some situations and we think like, after I say it, I will behave differently. I will see how they are taken. I love that from men, okay? They can tell you like, look, you're a moron. You shouldn't do it like this. And then they just forget it. And after that, they are okay because they are not taking that negative part or that critic on you. They are just taking the situation. They are doing it the wrong way. So I think that's also a good thing that we can learn from them and do it better in all the fantastic things that we have as women. I think, of course, as humans, we always have different things which we can learn from and do it
Yeah.
better.
And I'm really interested to know like your career journey also from Colombia. You went to Germany. How did that come about? Were you going to study or how did it come about?
It's a really good story that not many people know, but I saw you already did a podcast also about it, and I need to hear it, to listen it. So I went to Germany against the will of my family, and I went as an au pair. The actual plan was to go to the States on an exchange program. But then I think my teacher told me at that time that my mindset fits more to Japan or to Germany. Imagine this Diana 12 years ago, 18. I thought like, me, Japan, like that's so far away. Like I didn't know that much about the culture. So I thought like, okay, Germany is then the best option, definitely. You know, the best engineers, they come from Germany. I really admire German people. The most of them, of course, you cannot always like make this generalization for everyone, but I think the most of the German are just brilliant. The fantastic way how German are analyzing problems. And I love how straightforward are German. That's something that I love and that I always feel really misunderstood in Colombia. I love that a German person can also tell you like, look, I don't like this from you. I don't like this from me. I think that is, and you know, because you are clear on the topic, but it's not like this fake, I love you all. And then like, no, I better don't want anything with you. The most of my friends actually are Germans. I don't have many friends. Like maybe that's weird because when people don't know me, they think I have like a million friends. I have really super less friends. And I have just one friend in Colombia. That's my best friend from all my life. But the
Mhm.
rest of my friends are Germans, the most. Like,
How did you meet them? Is like only when you moved to Germany or when you were in
only when I
Colombia?
moved to Germany. Like, I got
Mhm.
contact with some Germans when I was in Colombia, because I started
Mhm.
like learning German, which wasn't helpful because the language is so difficult. So I thought, oh, I'm learning German, 5 words. And so they were like some German people, but always when you are in a different country, you cannot see like all the scope of what is the
Mhm.
country you are in, because people change when they are traveling and living abroad. The most in a country
Mhm.
like Colombia, people are always laughing, happy. They are always calling you honey and hugging you. So I think, of course, people change in that environment.
Mhm.
So I never, like, that's a really special thing that I have. I never have like an idea how a place might be. I do the research, but I never try to imagine, like, even I always plan everything. I never try to say or think how the place might be.
Mhm.
So with Germany, I knew good beer, excellent cars, intelligent people, cold, difficult language, but it wasn't like that much, just like the facts of the
Mhm.
place. Yeah, so I went as an au pair to Germany. I was living with a really fantastic family. We are still in contact. Like, they are, I might say,
Mm.
my also like my second German family. They are amazing people. And yeah, the staying in Germany was actually for the personal part because of my husband. Because I tell you, I have never met him in Germany. I will be now in another country in the world, but I have, because I was doing my bachelor's degree, like I didn't finish. So I needed to start all over my bachelor's degree in Germany. And that was also
Mm.
a challenge. It was in German. And people tend to say like, but mathematics, that's the same here and in Japan. No, because you need to know what you need to do. Like, if they tell you like how fast this car goes or how many kilos does this car is, like so many questions that you need to know, like how fast it can go
Yep.
or something. You need to understand where is the problem. It's not just like this 1 + 1. No, it's like more complex. The most, that being an engineer, all the things that we have to do, that we have to mix, that we have to understand. So it was a challenge because I thought like, oh, thank God I'm an engineer. It's just math. Oh gosh, that was way, way terrible because it was math in German. But that's the story from Germany.
Oh my, so did you have to like study German in order for you to do your bachelor's degree in
Exactly.
German?
Germany has a thing. Of course, you have some universities that offer some bachelor's degree in English, but it's not like a lot. It's not like in China that you have full bachelor's degree in English. It's less things. So I was living in the south of Germany. People from the south are well known because Mercedes-Benz, like the quality, Porsche, the quality is always the best. So the universities are crazy good, and the most of the universities they offer just bachelor's degrees in German.
Mhm.
So for me it was like going against the time because I started my bachelor's degree in 2017, and it was really challenging to find a university that says, okay, yeah, we will take you. We are not sure how good you speak German, but we will have you because, even when people fail the exams, everything goes to statistics. So they try to have like the best people ever. So
Mhm.
I tried to enroll myself everywhere in München, in Karlsruhe, like all around or near to Stuttgart. But then, of course, I decided to stay in Stuttgart because I went to the corporate university, like the one which you can study and work at the same time. So it was good, but it was also a challenge to find a company that wants to have someone that cannot speak good enough, because I was going there with this promise. I promise you, I will be able to speak a normal level of German in 2, 3 years. And it was funny because people were asking me, why not in 6 months? And I told them, I can promise you that in 2 years, in three, but not in 6 months. Like I'm not going to be able to do it in 6 months. So that was the thing that catch the company that at the end took me, because they told me that's realistic. They told me you didn't came here telling us in 2 months. You came here with the 2 years, because I knew what I was talking about. Like, I'm not going to lie to to a person which I'm going to work close. So I told them 2 years. I don't like my German, but I love, it sounds weird, I know, because many people tell me in a way, I love the German language. And I think it's such an intelligent language. It's perfect. When I need to think something super complex at work, even when I pray, like, like it's my relationship with God. And sometimes when I really like, I say like, God, I mean it. That's in German. And thank God, God understands our languages around the world. But for me, it's
Oh
always
God.
German.
So
Mm.
then you finished your bachelor's, or rather, I would also like to talk about you founding Boss Lady, which is a great platform that connects, ladies. And I would like you to explain a bit more what it is about, because when I saw the concept, I thought this is actually great. I met a lot of ladies here in China through
Thank
Boss Ladies group, and it was quite easy for me to navigate myself into different things through that community. So tell
you.
us more about it.
Okay, so the Boss Ladies was an idea that I wanted to start even back in Colombia. But as I said, being an engineer with most male friends, it was difficult to start a Boss Ladies. So I thought like, okay, it's not the moment. In Germany, I tried it, but the concept was different because the goal, my personal goal, was different at that point. So
Mm-hmm.
my point in Germany was German woman that can speak Spanish will meet Spanish speakers, women, and they will help each other. So they will help the others to speak better German, to navigate in the society, to know what to do, to have some advices, maybe something that you gotta do that you don't know, and like have this support community.
Mm.
I leave it to the side because, as I say, I was having other goals at that moment in life. But I started, and then I was helping other female communities to the side because my goal was working and studying. That that idea never went out. So when I arrived in China, we arrived in China in 2020 with COVID. So I finished my bachelor's degree online because I left Germany before I finished my bachelor's degree, of course, with the permission of the rector of my university. So it was horrible because I needed to do like all these exams, last final exams online. So, when you have an exam at the university, master's, PhD, you get your test and you can put, I have no idea, it's something stupid. And you say like, they are just to see the number, I don't exist. But these final exams were like this. Like the rector of my university was there looking at me and the teacher. And I was thinking, I really have no time to say something stupid because it's the last semester and they are going to see like, are you worth it or not?
Oh my
But
God.
on all that preparation, and in German, of course. So in all that preparation, I realized that I was like the first month in China being used at the apartment. Because you know how it is when you arrive. You try to say,
Mhm.
like, where can I go to the doctor? Where I'm located in the city the most, like all these kind of topics. And then after that month, I remember the first thing that we did was to travel. So we went to Inner Mongolia. And then after that, I thought like we really need to have like a community apart of work. Because you are working like, of course, you can have good friends at work and
Mhm.
work colleagues, but you really need to have another community a part of that. So
Mhm.
the Boss Ladies started because we were going with 4 ladies every week to the same place. And then once at that place, I remember that I told them like, people, we are in Beijing and we have like 26 million people living here. Like there are so many restaurants. There's so much to see here. And I think China is a country that is pretty rich on culture, actually. They actually have a culture because they have all these beautiful traditions that they are still doing in right now sometimes. And I think
Mhm.
that's magical that you can relate. They have their own traditions and things. So I made this WeChat group for fun. For that reason, the name, because it was like the Boss Ladies, like, let's go with four. So we started just organizing activities. And then they realized like, oh, you can really organize and you know people, then let's organize much more. And let's go for dinner, let's for party, let's do a workshop or this. And when we were going out, I was seeing so much potential on the female community, like so many
Mhm.
women. And that's also a problem when or no problem, apologize, it's a decision. When some woman said like, okay, I'm here alone. So I'm just here just to stay with my husband because that's like my full mindset now. And I can be an engineer, I can be a lawyer, I can be a doctor, but we forget that and I'm just here to stay with my partner. Yes, you are, but you can also develop yourself, because your
Mhm.
partner is also developing. Your partner is meeting amazing people daily. Your partner is getting great ideas from many people daily. So you also need to develop, because as he's developing, your relationship needs to develop. And I always say a relationship is not the well-known 50-50 in many things, is 100-100. You need to be so recharged that when your partner says, look, I can go 100, I have 60% energy, I have 60% attention now because of work, because of personal things, we need to be able to tell them, no worries, I'm so good now that I can give you 140 and then we are okay. So, so I think it's always this balance. So I was seeing so much potential in them. And I started asking the question, do you want to host a workshop? Do you want to do something for the community? So I remember once I realized the community was like from 4 persons or 6 was already by almost 90. And I remember that day was someone that told me like, whoa, the group is so big. And I never got like daily, because I'm not obsessed with social media. So I wasn't like, how many people in the group or who left, who came? And I thought like, whoa. And it was like 2-3 months after I created the community. So I remember once, and that's also a thing that happens when you are planning things or when you are doing something different. I planned a party. It was like an October. I didn't plan it. Like I was supporting the person that planned the party. And I remember it was an Oktoberfest. And I don't even drink beer. So I thought like, people are interested, let's go. And so many people started complaining because the deal that was made, they didn't like it. And I told them, I send information. Everyone could see like what you are going to get, what you are going to do. And I remember I feel so frustrated that day because many people were complaining. And that day, my husband told me like, look, if every single person that wants to do something different in the work gets frustrated and say, I don't want it anymore, then the world is going to be a disaster because every time someone is going to complain. I remember after that day, and someone, a really nice teacher, Lisa from the US, she was super active always in the Boss Ladies still. She gave me this beautiful cup, like with the most amazing woman that have been changing the world, so lawyers, activists, like so many people. And she told me like, and every woman should be doing something to be like them on their way that we can. I thought like, we're going to the party and we are continuing to the community. So I learned also from that, we need to be really picky on the things that we listen to, Because what I always say and what I always realize is the CEO of a company is never criticizing one per one a person. The CEO of a company is always criticizing something punctual. He's saying like, this could be better like this, or this has no future, do it better like this. But they have an idea, they know how to. And usually people that just want to tear you down and say like, don't do anything are the ones criticizing every single thing, but not having own ideas but then. Or the best thing, they are trying to copy you in every single thing. And then they are criticizing that. So I thought like, okay, everyone has their own magic. So I will just do it how it is. And I'm really happy to see how big the community is. I own a lot of all that beautiful get together of the community to Daya. Daya was one of the former members of the Boss Ladies, Mexican lady. I love Mexicans. The most of them are really cool. So she helped a lot with the community. She's an amazing businesswoman. She also came from Mexico to China. Now she's living in Austria. She has a language school, so marketing. So if you want to learn a language, she's good. So she has this language school. She's super good. And she was the one also with the main ideas, like, let's do a magazine. Because that was, like I'm always doing like what is the content that we are going to give? But she was the one like saying, we really need something like that. But you need a team. Because I always say you can go far away alone, but you are going to win if you go together. And you need to be really like someone. Vero is this magnificent Italian lady that has been many years in China. Vero is magic. Like everyone that knows Vero knows that she's a really good woman that can also connect people. And I was super happy before I left China because I know Vero since 2-3 years. So I knew always that she would be the one getting the community. So I was so happy when Vero said yes, say no. So I was really happy for her to continue growing of the community and having the Boss Ladies together. Denisa is amazing. Denisa is the one doing all this magic with the design and having the color ideas because I'm more like, it is black or it's red, and that's all. And then he says like, no, but it's the color, and you do it like this. So you always need to have this team, like bringing something to eat and to say something how to do it better, because they always come with ideas. What I say, I don't like that. Oh, I just don't like it. That's all. Like, you don't like it, but if you don't like something, then you know something better. So that's exactly the team. And I think the Boss Ladies is a really great community just to meet people, to
Yeah.
know that other person's doing the same what you are doing,
Yeah.
that is just moving abroad. Because there are so many Chinese, many Chinese that say like, okay, I'm from Harbin, from Shenzhen, from Shanghai, and now I'm new here. So how do you integrate with them? Because China is so huge and they are so different. And or just people that know you. There are some people that ask questions like, okay, who knows a graphic designer, who knows a doctor, who knows a lawyer, and if the community stays like this, that's great. Because if you need something from a designer, you can have the designer in China, you can have the designer in Germany. That's I think like this main thing from the community also, to get mind
Yeah.
alike people around you.
Yeah. And from, having it's like just listening to what you've been saying and also the pattern, it seems like you are so pro women. Is it because of, being in a male dominated environment a lot and you see like the gap between the males and the females? And now you are trying to sort of like bridge that gap. Is that like the inspiration behind you like being so big on females? And I'm also asking this because you hear females who are so exposed to more men or being in a very male dominated environment. They say, I don't like females. They gossip, they do this. And you're just like, but you're also a female. Like, why are you turning against your other females?
I hate
So
that.
I'm like,
I
really,
hate
really.
that, and I have heard that so often. I remember once by myself, I was enrolling at a really good position back in China, and the boss, a female boss, she told me like your CV is perfect, and like really I have heard so many good things of you, but I hate to work with women. And I thought like, why is she saying this? I was like, I need to keep the status quo, so I'm not going to reply to, to that. But I thought like, where is this as a leader? That's not a leader for me. Like after that, like all the big cloud which I was having, this woman completely fell down. I think this empowerment comes also sadly for from many bad stories that I have by myself personally with women. So it's not that I got these bad experiences and I will say like women are difficult and gossip and I hate them, because as you say, we are women by ourselves. So I take those experiences in a different way. I say, okay, you are saying women were rough, bad on you, and they did all these bad things. We can do it better. So I'm trying like to have this trust community and good community to have a really positive vibe on all this. Of course, because it's a big community and it can happen also even with men. There were some situations which some people were really complicated. And what I did was I told them, like, please leave the group. I wasn't going to delete them. I told them, like, please, I beg you, leave the group. And I give you 24 hours to do it. Because I don't like this, because I think it's so childish. Like, I'm going to delete you from the group. No, it's like, but I think it's important to keep that positive vibe. So of course, there were cleanups and people were mad at me because I did like the cleanup of the group 3 times. And it was like, please change your emoji, yeah. And I don't have time to react to every single one. So if after 1 week I see you didn't change your emoji, you don't look at the group, I just delete you. But it's different. So many people are so upset at me, like, she deleted me from the group. Like, yeah, I'm sorry. I really cannot react to everyone with, did you read my message?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I think that gap, of course, and please don't get me wrong, and I don't want that no one listening to this will get me wrong, because, always when you say something, it has a different reactions on people, and I accept that. But of course, we have, as females, a gap between men. That's clear. But I think we are still having a huge gap between females, between us. And before we say, oh, look at this gap with men, we need first to fix the gap between ourselves. So we need to fix the gap between women. We need to be really quick and pretty good on our terms between women. And then after that, we can go ahead with this gap and differences with men. But if we fight each other between women so hard, it doesn't make any sense to make this gap comparison always with but men do this and men do this. Yeah, because we also do it between us. So I think first we need to heal so many things between we women and be so proud of us and be so good. And then we can go ahead. So I think I'm also pretty welcome in the community with men. Sometimes I write, if you know a male that is interested, go ahead and invite him. And there was even one spouse at the very beginning, one spouse he was male, he was a man, and he was always joining those ladies. And that was great because we didn't went to do the nails. We went to change our CVs. We went for dinner. We went for some different things. So the community is always welcome. But I think it's pretty important to have like a safe space between women and between this thing also that I see happens so often between us. And that's also an example where I say at the very beginning between this emotional intelligence from men, where I know and where I have seen when a man has a problem with another and some of them say, these guys say this about you, they go to him and they're like, sorry, are we okay? Like, this happen or did I got it wrong? For us women, that's like war. Like, she say that? Okay, then you start, no one, like it happens to me sometimes. I go to the person like, why did this happen? Like, did you say it? Just no, okay, thank you. Then I continue my life because you need to start this war for these things. And I think it's the easiest one because I think the miscommunication is a huge problem that we have also in our daily life, also with our partners. So the way how we communicate should be, again, the German way, like pretty direct and say, I want this, I would like to have this, or missing this.
Yeah, that's not possible. And I'm saying this because I'm turning 35 this year. And somehow when I'm close to my periods, my emotions like really boil up. I literally can't control them. It's really, really
Yeah.
hard for me to control them. And when they're
Have you gone
boiling
to
up,
TCM?
sorry,
Been to TCM? Maybe they can help you like to find the chi.
come on. So and I'm not like a very harsh person naturally, then it's sort of like easy for me to regulate them. Although it's very hard, but I can feel like my body is resisting with what I'm trying to control. Sometimes I
Oh
go
my
to the
goodness.
bathroom and literally breathe in, breathe out. So
No, I can imagine because are the hormones, we have also this thing, we have all these hormones and so on.
yes. And sometimes I just feel like I want to cry.
Yeah, of
So
course.
now it somehow sort of like make me understand why females behave like in a specific way that sometimes they just find it so hard to control their emotions. And sometimes they don't take that into considerations, and in corporate years, we are told that you can't show your emotions, you can't show, like so many things, but yet your body is like telling you to do this. So it's like really, there's still a huge gray area on how women should show up. And for me, I'm also interested to know, like, what do you think we can change, as females to allow each other in the same spaces? Because it seems like there's always like, it becomes chaotic. I mean, before we've spoken about our toxic work environment experiences, and it was caused by the females that were around us, not necessarily that the place that we were in was toxic, just like specific individuals.
That's a really difficult question, and I might not have an answer because everyone is a different universe, right? So I have met people which I think, and I even ask like my environment because I don't want to say oh, I'm an angel. And of course, I ask people like, "Hey, do I was a jerk or was this okay or something?" So I was having some females in my life which I really try hard to be kind, and I think I always try to do my best because what I think is how I behave with someone, they will behave to me or even to my mom or my niece or my sister. And I really want for them the very best. Like for me, I could handle it, but for them, I always think this karma, these things, they come in every ways around you, even to your loved ones. So if you do something bad today, take care because this maybe can come back to your kids and you will never know. So I always try like to be pretty fair how I behave. And sometimes I got these pretty bad reactions from women. So I try to understand and think like, okay, you're being stressed, you're being traumatized. But sometimes I freak out and I say, yeah, but I'm also stressed. I don't have to be mean to everyone. So I think this is pretty difficult because we are all a different universe and we don't know what the others have experienced before. So of course, everyone has like bad experiences. I don't like the word trauma because I think trauma is like something super hardcore. And there are actually many people outside that have been having really hard and bad trauma. But the most that I know like that, they are a complete sweetheart. So that's the thing. I don't know when you have such a bad day or such a bad experience that you want to say all them. So I think this is difficult because you cannot change the mindset of someone. You can help the person to be different in some ways, like how they behave with something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also the thing of the emotions. Of course, we women, we have the thing with the hormones and it comes every month and we cannot control that, right? So I cannot control if I eat the 5 sneakers per day before my period, or if I say, "Oh, I want the salad, I want to stay healthy." We cannot control that, right? But I think everyone deals with different things. For example, if I say, okay, before my period, I'm in a really bad mood and I eat sneakers and I don't want to talk to anyone, then my husband and my male colleagues, they are also dealing with my attitude. Because they will say, like, okay, Diana is crazy. Like, don't talk to her because she has like some days, but she don't want to talk to her. So you see, everyone at the end, we always want to put ourselves like on this, like, but I'm suffering of this. At the end, everyone around you is suffering because it's quantum physics, we are like full of energy. So everything that we do, it has this reaction. So we cannot change that thing. I think we can just start with little bits. And we can start with this. Your podcast, your community is amazing. Like always showing people that are changing the world and are doing something better. So your podcast is helping. The boss ladies are helping. Like I also started the boss ladies here in Hungary and we have already 80 members. So it's also really cool to see, you can see that you will always have someone that would like to make something different. So there are people that are going everywhere around the world, praising God and showing God to people that don't even have a religion or have a different one. So I think you always need to keep going. So there is not a solution, sadly, for this. How can we do it better? But I think that how can we do it better is, starts always with ourselves. So how can I behave by myself to do it better? How can we change something from our
Mm-hmm.
part to try to do it better in the future? So yeah, we cannot change the others, but we can always try to
Mm.
change ourselves or like be better by ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, I think there's still a huge gap, honestly. And I see more and more females being so abusive in the work environment towards other females, not necessarily males. With males,
Yeah.
sometimes I do get it that, in order for you to get things done, you have to be bitchy. That's when, or rather, when you're being assertive, they say you're being bitchy, And sometimes you have to, you have to get those traits where, like, you have to be very assertive because now, if you try to stock things, you try to play around, like you working in a very male dominated environment, they just look at you and say, and it makes us sometimes just like overreact. So sometimes I really don't understand where females are coming from. I just don't like it when we are fighting against each other. And that's something that I
That's
would
right.
really want to see change. And I believe that, we have platforms that could improve, those, I think, like that environment. And I also wonder, as females have got a lot of platforms for females, like we've got in March we're celebrating International Women's Day. I know in South Africa now in August is Women's Month, and like there's just so many events for women. And with men, you don't see anything happening for them, but they
It's
get along
also
so
bad.
very well.
Yes, and that's also bad because we always speak about this. Oh, we want the same treatment. But for me, the same treatment is also the same treatment for men. So you don't have, and I know many females will hate that and will go against me. I'm so sorry, but that's my opinion. Like you never see a man saying like, "But today is the man day" or something. Yeah, it's different, and I think men, what I say at the very beginning, they have another like, of course, also because they are men, they have like another brain structure and they work differently. So I saw also a video a few days ago. I wanted to send it to you because I thought on you at the moment, but I was busy, but I will look after the video. So there was this guy asking questions on the street and he asks women, why do they need men in their lives? So my husband stopped the video and he asked me the question. He told me like, why do women need men in their lives? And I told him like, I can give you 3 hours reasons why, I think just because God create men, they're just amazing human beings. So men are strong. Men can go like more straight to the point. Men are funnier, like so many things that men are amazing, right? And I can also give you a list with millions of reasons why women are amazing, because we women, we are fantastic. But it's not this fight why men or women are better. No, it's like we are humans being. And I think everyone has something good on them. Every single person. So, but we know life happens and sin happens and people change, but whatever. So when I was super shocked because women were saying like, oh, we don't need men are the garbage, whatever. And just the expressions, I thought like, that's awful. Then they ask man, why do they need women in their lives? The answers were from gentlemen. So most of them, like the first thing, like, because they are cute. I take it, at least. But it was not even a woman that say like, oh yeah, we need men because of something nice. So I think that's sad because we don't have to have this fight. And we
Mm,
always say like, kill them with kindness. So we need to start this kindness everywhere. Because I
mhm,
think, of course, and don't get me wrong, as they are females like doing life difficult, they are men, of course, also doing life from women difficult. And that's clear. But they are also women doing the life from men way more difficult. So it happens. It goes from all parts. So I think we need to start, as I say, just changing by ourselves also the way how we see things. Because for me, also something super funny happened when I got the position to work in China. I
mhm.
remember the first thing that someone told me, that's a woman told me, she was in the boss ladies. She told me like, so your husband got you the position, right? No man told me that. So I remember there was a man on the table and he looked at her and he said like, no, Diana got the position because she's good by herself. And I thought like, that's cool because no one else, my husband wasn't at the table at the moment. But when he came back, I told him like, can you believe this, please? So, we cannot play with, of course it happens. I'm not going to say we are in the unicorn world. And of course, there are many women that get the position because of the man, or there are many men that get the position because they know someone. It happens, but that's not working. And that's another topic. But yeah, like just these small things. Thank God. I need to say thank God because I will think it's my problem if I will have problems with everyone. But I have never with a man. Like once I just got a really stupid comment, but we were not even like working together. So I told him like, you don't even know where I do daily at work. And I just left him. So, but sadly, it comes always with women. So I think the problem is that we see each other as a treat. So, for example, when I see a beautiful woman, and that happens with me with one big boss of a company in China, this woman for me is beautiful. Like the way how she looks like, I think she's stunning. And I have a thing also with blonde people. So when I see blonde people, I'm like, whoa, attractive. Because I'm Colombian. They look like me. So this woman is perfect, beautiful. She looks like a puppet and she's so good at work. So I remember when I asked men, they were like, whoa, yeah, she's really good and for the age because she's so young and so on. And when I say that topic with woman, the reaction hit different. They were like, no, she looks older for her age. Now, I don't think that she's that good. And it's because many of them, they were wishing also to have this boss position. And of course, I also wish to have that boss position. But I'm not going to invest my time on hating someone. I use my
Yeah.
time on examining someone. So I was always, and I try so hard. If she have told me, Diana, be my assistant for free, I will have done it. I will have done it. So she is so good. Like how she also behaves with people. I got the
Mhm,
opportunity to ask her to do something for the boss ladies. And this woman was great. She came with this perfect clothes, I remember, and she came to the place earlier. And I was cleaning and I was like, no. And I told her, like, if you want, you can get a drink and sit outside. She started cleaning with me. So that's the kind of boss that for that reason she's a boss. And I was so happy because that 20 minutes that she was early, I could ask her so many questions that I even apologized. So I think
yeah.
sometimes what we hate on others is the thing that we are missing in ourselves. But
Mm,
if we take that time just criticizing someone, and we don't solve the topic that we are missing on us, then it's a never-ending story. Then the Miss Universe will come and we will say she's ugly. Then the CEO will come and we will say it's dumb, because we have that lack of something in us. And of course, it's difficult, because I have done that many times in my life, and I do it like I sit with myself and I'm like, okay, Diana, what are you missing? And it's a really uncomfortable conversation, because it's not cool when I feel like stuck in life or something, but we really need that conversation with us. We need to be
Yeah.
able to talk to us and see, okay, what can we solve? What can we do better?
Yeah. And looking at all this days where women are celebrated, like International Women's Days and stuff. Yes, I understand the sentimental value, or rather the history behind it, that yes, the women who fought for us to be recognized in like corporate spaces, there's like a long history behind it, which we are grateful because we are here because of them. However, I also feel
Definitely.
like these days are also make us feel like we are special. It's
Mhm.
more of nobody cares about you. You're not special. Everyone is special. And we look
Mhm.
at ourselves as like we better than the other people that are existing. Like we better than men, we better than this. And also when you mention like Miss Universe, it's like when you look at a female, the first thing that you see is the beauty. And
Mhm.
in corporate, you don't want to see the beauty. You want to see the brains. You want to, that's what you need. And the first thing that we then are judged from is like, is she beautiful enough? And I remember having this conversation with someone who was asking me about, this other person that I was working with, about their performance. Like, they look too bubbly, they look this, they look like this. Do you think they are good enough for this role? And I'm like, but the results are proving that they're good enough for it. But you are looking at this person that they dress well, their hair is always like nicely done, looking all perfect. And because it's like a male dominated environment, then we're expected to dress up in a specific way. And that's why I also stopped like dressing up in like just like the corporate work shirt and jeans. That was me every day. And I told myself that I'm stopping. I'm going to wear like look beautiful like a girl, or not a girl, a woman,
Mhm. Come on, you can also be a girl.
a woman, and show that I can deliver the same result as somebody who is showing up like in just what is determined as like perfect wear in manufacturing environment. But then at the same
Mhm.
time, it's like not really looking at myself that, okay, yes, I must be treated like this because I'm more special. If another woman comes to the team, then it becomes a threat because then I won't be able to shine. And we really need to address these topics. And for me, I feel like we need to stop having all these women events. That's where we need to start, and stop looking at ourselves as special than other people,
Mhm.
and just
Yeah.
start living. Just start living. I understand that, one of the reasons why a lot of events are happening is also try to bridge the gap between, like the industries that are very much populated by men, whereas they
Mhm.
should be like 50-50. I really do understand. But
But
I feel like
I
somehow they play the
understand that, because it's the same thing back in Colombia. It's exactly the same. Like when I started studying engineering, I remember like I was having some classes that we were even 5 people, and I was 4 men, 1 woman, me, and they were other classes where we were 50, and they were 2 women, and the rest were men. So that was actually normal in Colombia. In Colombia, and please don't get me wrong, because I'm not criticizing, I'm just showing you like the scope between borders. So in Colombia, I have never heard that woman should have a position in a male-dominated field easier because they are more men than women. In Colombia, it's like, are you good enough? Even if you're coming with your red lipstick and a dress, go for it. Be good. I don't care. So it's that thing. And I think China also shows us how many women are being an engineer. Lots. And they are so good. I was so impressed with Chinese people, Chinese women. They are brilliant. The way how they work. And then you see them like so demure and so cute, and even with these super cute things with Kitty, and this, I love this Hello Kitty and everything on the desk, and they are masterminds. They are brilliant, and no one ever says like she has a Hello Kitty on her laptop, she shouldn't be good. Chinese are like, have your Hello Kitty whenever you're enough good, go for it. So I think that's also a thing, and I think that's also a really bad thing against men. Because no one can tell me, like, Diana, because you're a woman, you get this position. I could be super useless in comparison to a great
Mm,
man that is able to fulfill that position. And because I'm
mm,
the woman, I don't think it's cool enough that I have that position. So, of course, there are gaps. But for example, like in Colombia or in China, for me, the best example is China or even India, because there's these fully populated countries, which you just need to be good to do something. So I
mhm,
think, yeah, be a little bit fair enough. But if you are good and you want something, you will always have a way. Your example, Lani, you are South African and you are now working in Beijing. Beijing has 26 million people. Beijing, I don't know how is the right name in English, but like the jobless people percentage in this year goes around 28%. And you, because you are good and you have the experience, you were able to get that position that you are doing. So that means, and you don't speak Chinese, I mean on a technical way that you can hold a meeting in Chinese. So I think every single person has something good, and you don't need to give someone something in the hand just to tell them, please go for that. So not even a government, because of course it's hard also, but you also have kids. You're the best example. If you're a mom, you're a woman, you are a foreigner, and you have everything. So you are the perfect example.
mm,
Good at everything that she does. I have amazing personal skills. You can go
mm,
for it. So yeah, that's the thing that I think I'm happy that women have that thing, but I think sometimes it is too much. And for men, when do you see like this mental support group for men? Men are so needed. Men need it so badly, but they don't do it. And then I
mhm.
always hear like, oh, men don't speak about their feelings. Men, they do, but when are you going to take them? If they speak about it like, oh, you're such a princess and princess treatment, let them
I
be.
feel I feel like men gossip more in the workspaces,
So
but
you see,
no.
that's the thing, you never have this for them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. From what I'm getting out of this conversation is more on women need to focus more on self-development because we seek a lot of validation from external factors, and those validations are just putting us down and they affect us in how we show up and also how we accommodate other females.
Definitely. Definitely. It
Yeah.
is. I think every single human, as I say, women are fantastic, right? But
Mm,
every single human has something good on them. So my advice in general is for a woman, even if you are living alone now in another country, or if you are in your own country, always make your own list. Look what you want, look what you're doing, and take examples. Because I always think like also the copy paste from others is not good. I see many women that say this person is doing this and I want to do exactly the same because I hate this person, but
mm,
really deep, they love the persons. They're like, I'm copying everything what she's doing. No, because what I say, everyone is a non-universe. So you don't know what is working for them that you don't have
mm.
and what that person don't have that you have. So we always need to do this to-do list with ourselves, see what we want, what are we doing for it, and how are we using our time on developing,
Yeah,
hopefully.
that's spot on, spot on. So we're about to conclude, and I would like to ask if you've got some last words of
Go.
advice, to females that are struggling in the male dominated spaces. I think one of the questions that I was asked was basically, I am new in this country and it's hard for me to build allies with men. I am in a male dominated environment. I'm an engineer. How can I build allies or allyship or alliances easily? You've worked in different
I
countries.
think
I'm sure you've worked in Germany, you've worked in China, you've worked in now you're in Hungary. So you're probably the right person to give this advice.
I hope. I don't think I'm the right person, but I will try my best. Well, I think if you are working, it's actually easier because when you bring your results to the table or when you
Mm,
try, like what I always try also is even when I see that a project is not working or like I say like, oh my God, why are they doing this? I never come with this like, look, you're doing it wrong. I always come with a different approach. So I cannot go to my 10 male colleagues and tell him like, oh, that's garbage what you are doing. Like, I will do it like this. I come in a different way. I come and I acknowledge that they are good. So I tell them like, look, I know that you are so good and you have gained so much experience on this and I can learn something from you. Can you please show me what you are doing and how you have been doing it all these years? And then when they like take me and they show me and we have already like this relationship on the professional way, then I can start asking the questions. And I'm like, don't you think that would be better if we do it like this? Everything is the approach, like how you go to people. And by far, we can learn so much from people that have been there, even we see like some mistakes or things. But you need first like to be on the team, and then you can go ahead with other things. Because we cannot come with this attitude at the very beginning, bam, we'll do it better. Maybe you will do it better. But first, you need to go to the personal side and tell them like, look, we are here to all work together. How do we do it together? And then you can go ahead. But I think it's a
That's a
daily
great
thing.
advice.
Thank you so much.
That's a
Have
great
worked for me.
advice.
I hope it works for many people as well.
Yes, I mean, for me also, I'm very much, I get personal because I've realized that that's how I build relationships better, and also becoming a bit vulnerable to say, I'm not sure if I understand this topic, but not
Exactly.
necessarily exposing all my weaknesses that I don't know at all. No, there's like a part that I show that, okay, I know this part, but I'm struggling with this one. So that they say, because these are also like the people that are your counterparts, like your peers. So you don't want to also expose like all your weaknesses. So I love that advice so much. Yeah. So
Exactly.
thank you.
Another thing now that you say this personal part, also for my super lovely most woman, it's not when you say go personal, it's go
Oh,
polite personal. It's
yeah.
not going like, hey, I have 3 kids. This is my grandma. I do this on the
No.
weekend. No, don't do it. Please don't. Please don't. That's something that I always see. I told one person once, like, please go on a personal level. And this person started talking about the weekend and personal things. And I was like, Mayday. I was like, no, go polite personal, go professional personal.
Yeah. Yeah, because some people want to keep it for professional and they feel like, whoa, we can't be discussing my family and here. So it's also about reading the room. I also like to like test and see how the person reacts, and I see if they're resistant, then I'm like, okay, then we don't touch on this topic.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you so much, Diana. I think it was really
Thank
a
you, Khodani, to
beautiful
you for having
session.
me. It's really a huge pleasure. I admire you a lot. I think you're such an amazing woman. Like, I hope many women really listen to your podcast, look at everything that you are doing. Like, you are fantastic. And I hope that many women take notes from the good things that you are doing and they can have a really good orientation.
Thank you so much. You really inspire me, I must say. And as I
Oh my
said,
God.
when I saw the concept of boss lady, I was like, wow, this is really big. And also just looking at the bravery or the confidence of having that platform where now all us ladies are like going there to meet. So you also definitely
Thank you
inspire
so
me.
much.
That's why I wanted to sit down and have a conversation with you, because when we met, we had a great conversation. So I thought, yeah, we could take it to the podcast and share with other females. So thank you so
Perfect.
much.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for everyone watching and listening. Yeah. Thanks again. Have a beautiful evening in China. We'll keep in
You
touch.
too. You too. Diana. So, colleagues, thank you so much for joining in. Don't forget to follow her, or rather follow Boss Lady platform on Instagram to stay updated on what other females are doing in different countries. And also look at the membership, how you can utilize it, more especially if you are working in China and you want to navigate your life in China outside of your work. There are a lot of ladies that you can meet, a community that you can meet that can also help you with that navigation. And I'm saying this because I am part of that community, and I've been helped a lot in the groups. Yeah, check in the link and join in. So, colleagues, do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and yeah, let's engage. Let's engage, colleagues. Thank you so much. You should also share this video. So, bye-bye.